Hi, Team Flyer, and welcome to the very first episode of the Always Believer podcast. I cannot be more excited than I am right now for many reasons. First of all, I always love to put this community together and letting it grow and prosper, of course. But most importantly than that, of course, is showing you true stories from all around the world. My very first guest is a person that I've admired for many years. We've connected online about 5 years ago, and she's just been a golden constant in my life. She's always been a Team Flyer top pick, and she knows it. I just love everything about her. Without further ado, without any see, I'm already nervous because I'm just so excited. There you go. I told you you'd get it raw. So you can hear her laughing. It is Liv from Style by Liv. Hi, Liv. Hi.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I love the Go Do Fly community, and I'm so excited to be here.
I'm just excited for everything, obviously, and all the goodies that are coming our way, and just definitely to have you. You've always been such an inspiration, like your backstory and how you started, and just everything else that connected us. So I always knew, like, whenever I start something, especially the podcast, something big, and I did the same thing with Go to Fly, I start with you because it was like one of those things that's the essence of it all. So hi
You're so
again.
awesome.
So let's hear about you. What is your backstory? Tell us about the girl behind Style by Liv.
Okay. So I was born in Richmond, but my dad's job relocated us here to Boston. So I moved here probably when I was about 4. So I've pretty much grown up in Boston my whole life. But I loved Virginia because it was like where I was born, and we used to vacation all the time. So it was like just so blissfully my favorite state, and it still is. So if anybody's in Virginia, shout out to you guys. But so I went to college in Virginia at James Madison University, and that is kind of when we met online. But when I was there, I went to school to become a nurse, and I started my blog when I was there. I am very passionate about health and wellness, as you can tell. I'm a nurse, so I really fully love and believe in everything about that. So that's kind of a little bit about me.
I love that as well, because I love when you find also people from different states and you just end up one place and then going to a different place. And I don't know, it's just something about that as well, that you have to be a certain type of person to like embrace the change and just be brave and just go out. And also the fact they actually went back to Virginia for college, I just made it a little bit more special.
Yeah, no, it was like the best 4 years of my life. It was awesome.
Do you go back often?
Not often enough, but we did go back this past year, so that was nice.
All right, good. I'm assuming you have family there maybe or something?
Family, friends, family.
Exactly. Good stuff. So your world, your webpage and everything around it, it's like the perfect combination of the best of both worlds, because you combined your passion for fashion. Try saying that 3 times fast. Passion for fashion, and also for your passion for actually wellness and taking care of yourself. So let's go like into a little bit deeper with that. I know you want to help a lot of people out. So how do you just, like, before you tell us how you help them, how do you describe your personal webpage, Style by Liv?
Yeah, so I think the beauty of a webpage is it's evolved as I've evolved. And so when I was at James Madison, I was interviewed in a lot of fashion magazines, just like the outfits I wore to class, or like people would wear like booty shorts and a crop top to frat parties, and I'd show up in like a pantsuit or something like that made me happy, and like everyone was like, "Who is this girl?"
You're just that cool.
Yeah, so I was interviewed in a lot of fashion magazines, and it's always like so nerve-wracking because like you don't know what the pictures look like which ones did they choose, like what did they write. And so it was kind of like always nerve-wracking to get like that final article because like you didn't write it.
And you wouldn't know about it till it was published, correct?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, so it's like your image out there, like, wait, I did it. Oh, all right.
I wouldn't have chosen that picture, but okay. Yeah, and so my boyfriend at the time was like, why don't you just do it yourself? Like, why don't you just post the outfits yourself and write about it yourself? That way, like, you're not worried about what other people are writing, and like there's no question mark there. And he's like, plus you have like a very unique view on life, and you're always like glass half full, so like you can sprinkle that in.
Totally are.
Yeah.
It's like one
And
of the things that definitely defines you without a doubt.
totally. Yeah. And you know, everyone says that like I'm in my own world because I'm just like blissfully just like, but I create it that way, right? Like I don't watch the news because it doesn't make me happy. And so I do
You're the
that.
very few people that I know that don't watch the news. I don't watch the news either. Like I get the news when I need to get it, of course.
Of
What it
course.
always reaches to you one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
I, much like you, and you know me, and you know what our community is all about, I just choose positivity and happiness and whatever makes me happy. So for you, it's definitely the fashion sense, because I have zero fashion sense. I could care less, first of all, in the sense of like for myself, I'm like, I want to be comfy.
Yeah.
I'm like sneakers, hoodie. I also love dresses. But anyways, what you were saying with your fashion, I feel like that's so cool because you weren't doing just to stand out. You were just being blissfully yourself, and that's the point of life.
Mm-hmm.
To be
Totally.
blissfully yourself.
Yeah. And so that's kind of like what it became. And like it was cool because like my parents from home and like my friends from home would like read it, and I would write about like what events I'm going to or what things we're doing here. And it was kind of like an online journal, right, for them to kind of also see what's going on. But then when I got into nursing school and really started like taking nursing classes, and when I became a nurse, it shifted more toward health and wellness, although fashion is obviously still the root of it, but I sprinkle in a lot more of like lifestyle content now.
I can definitely see that difference as well. I remember you, like, it was a lot of fashion, which I still pretty loved. Like, I love what you put
Mm-hmm.
together. And this comes once again from me, who could care less about fashion. You were always, it was such a you style, but it was also a style that it could fit anybody. And I feel like that's also really cool.
Mm-hmm.
However, I do see the difference of like now it's a lot about like wellness beauty products and like what's behind the scenes. And then you talk a lot about your nursing life, which I feel like
Yeah.
that's really cool, for obviously a lot of reasons, once again, but definitely first of all, like you're very what's it called, like very real, and you're very honest, and you're like, okay, I'm really tired today, however you can do it. You got it.
I
And
find like I have to share those things because like other times like you're just not gonna hear from me on social media because I'm so tired. So I'm just gonna come on and tell you guys I'm tired and I'm watching Netflix today.
exactly, it's like, this is what I'm doing, this is my happy place right now, like this is what I do, and that's amazing because it's also self-care. You don't have to be picture
Yeah.
perfect, and I'm totally against of always being picture perfect
Yeah.
because that's not life. Like,
I know.
just be yourself.
Mm-hmm.
um So tell us a little bit more about nursing, the nursing side. Like, what do you do now from
Mm-hmm.
your daily 9 to 5 life? What are you doing? What's up?
Yeah. So I'm a registered nurse, and I'm actually going to school now to become a nurse practitioner. So I work in the psychiatric field. So I work in an inpatient unit for men and women with bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, psychosis, basically any diagnosis, anxiety, depression, PTSD, all of that. So at the inpatient level, they need a lot of support. And skills. And so it's a lot of, you know, helping them adjust their medications, but also like coming up with a plan for like when they discharge, like how can they create that meaningful life? Like, should they go outside and walk once a day? Like, that's probably some sunlight would be good, some nature, some exercise, like coming up with simple things like this. But also like being there to support them through like a panic attack on the unit, like whatever it is.
That
So
is just so beautiful. That the fact, I love, of course, nurses and firefighters and policemen, like they're just here to help us all around. And then when you find someone like you, it's a bigger inspiration, because I feel like anytime we talk about it, you're just made to do it. Something that you just love to help and make sure that they are taken care of, because at the end of the
Mhm.
day they need to, of course, and they still are valid and their feelings are valid and whatever they go through.
Yeah,
And it also takes like a certain kind of skill, a certain kind of person to
it
see
does.
all that and stay positive and stay focused. So I kudos, it's just, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's so true because I wanted to become a nurse. I wanted to help people. And so I started nursing school and I cried every single day. Like being on a cardiac unit is not me. Like, it's too high stress. The patient population isn't what I want to work with. I don't want to give bed baths. Like, it's just like that takes a special kind of person to like give someone a bath and like still give them their dignity, and like, oh, it's emotionally wrecking.
It
For
is.
me it was, but some people love that and they got it on psych ward and they're like, nope, I can't do it. And so it's like you got to find your own niche in your field.
Yeah, definitely with all of them, but this one in particular, like I know up close, my mother-in-law is a nurse, and
Mm.
I have a couple of good best friends. My husband wants to be one, so it is something that I'm also used to hearing a lot of different stories,
Yeah.
and you're just like, that is just incredible. Once again, I always love how real you are, that you fact like, I came home and I cried every day, and I'm like, and that's good. You processed your feelings, like you're
Yeah.
still facing this reality, and you want to do the best you can for that person, but also for yourself. And I feel like that's something really neat, that you didn't just block it off and be like, oh, okay, I'm fine, and then all of a sudden you're not. So
Yeah.
it's, you keep it real, which is with yourself most of all, and that means with everybody obviously, but just you put that first, which I do love. And so I have my other follow-up questions about nursing. Did you always want to be a nurse, and like who inspired you to be a nurse?
Mm. I always did want to be a nurse. I think I was like, when I was a kid, like, teachers are enticing because like you're in a school and you like your teacher. So I think I wanted to do that originally. But then once I hit like middle school and high school, I think everyone like saw it in me before I even really knew what a nurse was. Like my parents, my family, like I don't know anybody that's a nurse. So there wasn't really anyone that inspired me to do it. It was just everyone kept saying that I would be really good at it. And I did want to help people. And, nursing is freaking hard. You have to be really smart. And I can study really well. And so like I had that part too, where I knew like I could probably figure it out. And so that's kind of how it came about.
I think that's pretty cool. Not that they saw you in that, but like I said, apart from like the special kind of skill you need to be a nurse, to deal with the people on a daily basis, whatever they may whatever they may have, um the hard work, the study hours,
Mm-hmm.
the not even like, even after school, like even if you've been in the job for 10 years, what you said at the beginning, you have to plan and prepare, and I feel like that's just something you're totally capable of course. And I feel like that also helps you with, we can lead now, nice segue right here to your blog, and you're like, to plan and prepare and organize and be focused on your goals. So I feel like
Mm-hmm.
that's just as perfect. Once again, that's why I described at the beginning, like the perfect balance of those two worlds put
Yeah.
together in one, which I love. I truly love, because you're not just focused on one thing, you're focused on like two main things, and then you have like little stuff around it, but regardless, that you have your passion right there. Whether
Yeah.
we talk about you, we ask you like a nursing question, or we ask you a fashion question or a wellness question, it's like it's all right there, and I love it.
Yeah.
So we know that your passion for helping others has grown into your blog and bettering the world. So I
Mhm.
know a lot about it, because I asked you firsthand. I'm like, I want to know more. So our listeners know what we're talking about, and it's your clean beauty products. So tell us more, please.
Yeah. So when I became a nurse, right, we learned all about health and wellness. We learned about how to achieve it so we can teach our patients that. And so we learned about nutrition, how important vegetables are, and fruit, and whole grain, and fiber, and all that kind of stuff, and drinking water. And then we learned about like exercise and how you should move your body this many times a day, and for this much for heart health. And those are kind of like the two main things we learn. We learn about medications, we learn about all this kind of stuff. And so when you look at the real world and you look at some people that are in the wellness space, it's all fitness and nutrition. But one important piece that people are missing is the products that we put on our skin. Because if you think about it, your skin is the largest organ. And many of the beauty products out there, there's toxic chemicals in it, because the US does not have any regulation on what can and cannot be put in there. There's probably about 30 ingredients that are banned, and that was like 60 something years ago. And so we haven't changed that federal law since then. So for example, lead can be in lipstick, or formaldehyde can be in products. And just last week I had a friend text me and she was like, oh my God, I went to buy this, and I shared it on my Instagram, so you guys can find it if you scroll back. But she went to buy a cleanser at like a TJ Maxx or something like that, something that she had had as a kid in middle school, and she really liked it. She found the product again, started using it, and then she's now was more educated on how to read the ingredient list, and she found that there's formaldehyde in there, and she was like, I was rubbing that all over my face in middle school and then just now, and like, how is that allowed? And so I just became so passionate about it because, like, of course I could have a green smoothie every day and go to bar class, but like that's not going to help if I'm rubbing all this stuff on my skin all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's something. I wish our listeners could see all the face expressions, because I can't lie. So like you can see all my anger or all my
Yeah.
just frustration. Okay, so the two quick things I remember when you spoke about it a little bit more, and I got so frustrated. I remember I read so many more articles. I've always been careful. I haven't been that careful. Once again, I'm also not big on makeup, so I'm not like,
Yeah.
I don't wear makeup every day. However, still we use lotion and we use oils and we use all these sorts of things. So like it's not only specifically makeup, but regardless
Yeah.
of that, I remember when you started telling me about this and you posted it online, and just how in this country like it's not regulated. I was so upset. Like I told the whole world not only how upset I was, but how
Yeah.
like what to look out for. And I sent people all these links, and not only like our community, of course, is also on my Insta, but just friends, my husband. I'm like, I don't care, like we have to see. I talked to my mother-in-law about this, and it was like, we have to make this change because it's incredible. And you also talked about even babies, which I know you've worked with because you've told me this, of course, and through your medical field. It's a topic that I feel like we need a whole podcast for, and I would love the opportunity as well. I think for more listeners and more people to find out and know.
Yeah.
Um, so okay, so essentially, I know that these clean beauty products has helped you grow your community more,
Yeah.
and I know you work with a specific brand.
I do. Yeah. And so when I was starting to learn about this, I was at a conference and I was just like, my mind was blown. And I like left that conference and like literally went home and went through my entire beauty thing and like was just like looking things up. And so basically, I started researching every single brand. And one that I found that was like over the moon, the best out there it's called Beauty Counter. And the reason I chose them was because like my job as a nurse is to advocate for others, and that's what they're doing in the beauty industry. Like they are literally going every single year. They send like hundreds of like women that work with this company. They send their entire headquarters to Washington D.C. to just have meetings with congressmen, congresswomen, and just to lobby for better beauty. And so I actually got to participate in that on a local level. And we went to our, local congresswoman and got to tell her about all of this. And she was so shocked. And so even if it's like you make one change or I illuminate your life a little bit to learn this, that's what I'm all about. And so that's kind of why I stand behind this brand. And they just have such amazing tools and information. So totally check them out if you're looking for more info.
Definitely. I agree with Beauty Counter. I find it so impressive and so wonderful that you were able to go on even a local level. Like, I think people need to also hear that, yeah, going all the way to the president or go all the way to the manager of the department or whatever, it's good, but you need to start where you can.
Yeah,
And the fact that you just talk to someone local, I mean, it's a start. it's
exactly. Exactly.
it's
And
like
it was like the coolest and weirdest opportunity to like walk in there in like a business suit, like, and I like have my like beauty products there just to like show her. It was just so different, but it's like, I don't know, it felt so good.
that is incredible. I feel like what I always say, I always tag you in things. I always promote your stuff because you're one to look out for. I feel like everything that you stand for just is going to make the world a better place. And it doesn't matter if you start small or not. Like it grows. It
Mhm.
always grows. And once again, with your particular profile as a blogger, as an entrepreneur, is just, once again, the best of both worlds, because we can look to you because we know you know what you're talking about. And I feel like it's another thing of trust as well. You're like, dude, I've studied this. I know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we can go to bar because I know you love bar, and I love, you love yoga like I do. And that's great. And we drink all the smoothies. I know we both drink all the smoothies. But what goes in our skin and our body is also equally as important, if not much so. So that is awesome. That is great. So talking about the same thing a little bit more, what are just a couple, I know there's so much to talk about this topic, but just give us a couple of products that next time we're, going out buying beauty products of any sort, what do you recommend?
So first, if you are unaware and want to learn more, watch the documentary Stink on Netflix. It's really good. It will give you a good overview kind of on everything about the beauty industry. And then there are 2 apps. Let me actually pull out my phone here. So the first app is called Think Dirty, and it's really cool because
I'm loving that name.
Right?
It's so creative. This is why.
Right? And basically
I do, yeah.
you take a picture of the barcode of the product. So you can be at CVS, take a picture of the barcode, and it will give you like a score, like 6 out of 10.
Oh wait, seriously? That's so cool. That's like what we do with food. Like,
exactly.
Whenever it's like Weight Watchers or something like that, the app popped up because one of my followers, or one of the person that I follow is doing it. And I'm like, wait a second, that sounds familiar. That's so good. You can do that with makeup now.
Yeah. And so there's also another one that's really good. It's from the Environmental Working Group. They're another leader in this space, and it's called Healthy Living, powered by Skin Deep and Food Scores. So this one you can do food and beauty products together.
Oh, that's really cool. Are both of those apps free, or is it monthly payment, or they're free? Oh my God, life is amazing.
Yeah.
I feel like first, I know there's a lot of good, but you and me think of the positive and the glass half full, and these are the moments that I'm like, yes, this exists, because it just makes our life so much easier.
Yeah, because you think about a chemical on the product, it's like oxycarbenzopazepine, and you're like, what is that? And I mean, I worked at the Poison Control Center, so I can kind of see what some of these are and figure out what the product is. But like normal people that are not healthcare professionals, like,
yeah, that's me. I'm as normal as they come when it comes to this genre. Like I said, when it comes to fashion and beauty, it's not my aisle. It's not what I produce. It's not what I promote. I don't know. So for me, my case, I guess it happens to many other people, of course. I look for people like you, obviously, who know what they're talking about. And because if you tell me names, I'm like, oh, okay. And I would have to like write it on my notepad on my phone and be like, okay, so it does have to need this. But the fact that you can just scan it and go, come on. Come on. Oh, yeah. I'm so down.
So if you learn anything from this podcast, download the apps.
Exactly. There's so much more to learn about you, though. So like,
I know.
At mylive.com, I swear, I've promoted you since day one, and I'm just like number one fan. I'm fangirling with you as always. I swear. All right, so stepping a little bit away from the beauty products and all those beautiful things that we need to learn more. Like I said, there's a whole podcast because I want to learn more. We know we love our girl Rachel Hollis. Yeah, she motivates us a whole bunch in many different ways. Give me your top 2 people apart from her or including her that you can think of.
Yeah. So I love Rachel Hollis. I listen to her podcast. I think she's so great. I actually just got her Start Today journal. So I'm using it's kind of like a gratitude journal and a manifesting, like all in one.
I have the same one. I love it. I use it every day. I can't even. Yeah.
So I just started doing that. But another person that I really love is Ed Milet. He is so inspirational, and just like his whole thing is about like maxing out your life, like how to do that, like how to figure out like who you are and what your best self is and how to get there. And he's a life coach, so his podcasts are like unbelievable. Those are probably my top 2 that I listen to the most.
I love that, because one of the reasons I included this question is because I know a lot about you, obviously, and I want to make sure our listeners know that you're also very in tune with mind wellness and goal planning, but not only manifestation or manifestate blah 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 blah. What's the word again? Manifest
Manifesting.
manifesting. There you go. Thank you. Like I said, you get it real and raw always here at the Always Believer. My mess ups included. This is how I talk.
Yeah.
Anyways, manifesting, but also like working smart for those goals. So that is a big part of you, and that's something that you and me share without a doubt, among many other things. But that's also so like your mind wellness is spot on, and that I love the fact that you always follow certain people to make
Mm-hmm.
sure you're always bettering yourself.
Yeah. Totally.
Including of something else I know about you that I wanted to include in this little quick tidbit is your body positivity
Mm-hmm.
in general. We'll definitely dive into this with another podcast, maybe mix it up. We'll see, we'll figure it out. You'll definitely be on more times than today. Give us a little bit of your backstory with how you feel about body positivism and etc.
Yeah. So you will see something on my page today. So keep a lookout on that. But when I graduated nursing school, my first nursing job was I worked at an eating disorder center. So it was a residential program for women, and it was ages 13 and up. And it was any type of eating disorder: orthorexia, anorexia, bulimia, binge eating disorder, the entire thing, mixed states. And along that came depression, anxiety, schizophrenia, PTSD, all of those diagnoses. And so I worked there for, oh goodness, like 2.5 years.
Oh,
Um,
goodness. Wow,
yeah,
that's quite some time, my darling.
I know, but I loved it. And I loved the women. And it was just so interesting to talk about like the current social media, the current televisions, magazines, ads, that sort of thing, and how that kind of plays into it, but also like understanding where they're at and what their eating disorder need fills for them, like what they are missing or what they're looking for. Um, because usually it fills a need, and kind of grows from there and spirals. And so I am a huge proponent of body positivity, because at times you would walk through the hallways and like all the girls would just be like coloring together, reading, or like hanging out, and you would not be able to tell that they had an eating disorder from a physical perspective. There were patients that you could, but there were a good amount of them that you could
Yeah,
not
you
physically
couldn't.
tell.
I feel that's something that's fundamental for people to understand as well. I think we're
Yeah.
so used to seeing like, I mean, I understand that when we're little, when we're learning about life and things like that, we associate things with things. We see the color red, we know it's a color red. We see a house, we know it's a house.
Yeah.
However, all these kind of illnesses go beyond that. Just because we can't see your bones doesn't mean you're not going better side, sorry, through an eating disorder.
Yeah, totally. Totally. And so, I think it's so important to talk about body positivity, because it's a topic that I don't want to say is taboo, because I don't think it is, but I do think that there are some people that are on social media that post like their stretch marks and stuff, and they get a lot of negative comments on it, and they're just trying to promote that body positivity.
Exactly. I also I love that. It's I can go on for a while. Once again, this is why I said like we have to dive into a different kind of podcast with this and body positivity, because I feel in my particular case, the more we talk about it, the better.
Yeah,
Because we just uh no matter how many backlash we're going to get and the negative comments we're going to get, the more we talk about it, the more we're okay with our bodies, the more we're saying, hey girl, we got you, we love your stretch marks. I mean, you're a freaking human being. That's
yeah,
who you are and what matters on the inside. And I don't care if it sounds cliche at this point, right? I just feel like it's about time that we continue stepping up. We have been stepping up for a while, but just now even more and more people. And this comes from a difficult place. Like I just recently posted about this, and I posted
hmm,
a picture that I thought I would never post because I'm not okay with my body, and for many reasons, many reasons that we're not going to go on right now. And I was like, okay, I'm still doing what I can to work on it every single day, and I work out and I take care of my body in different ways. I should be able to show the people who I am, not for them, but for me. I know that I'm still very valid, like exactly the way I am. But once again, this is like it's a hard step to click that post button. So the people who do that, I'm like, yes, I
no, it's so
got
true.
you.
And I think too, I find myself all the time like comparing myself, like, oh, her hair's so perfect on Instagram, or how does she have all that? And like that bathing suit's so cute. And like, oh, like look at her nails or her eyelashes or her whatever, like whatever it is, like there's so many ways to compare your body that like it's important for everyone to have a focus on body positivity, whether you have any of these
Exactly.
or not.
Exactly. And the whole comparison thing, I feel like it is, again, subconscious because we do learn it since we're little one way or another. And we have been installed through media. Like, the, with me, my case, like, for example, like, I look at you and I'm like, how can you say those things about yourself? Because I look at you and I'm like, you are so gorgeous inside and out. Like, I see your pictures and I love what you're wearing. And I'm like, I can't pull that off. Or like, I couldn't even think of that, you know? At the same time, you're like, no, like, you have to change your mindset and be like, okay, yes, I can honor you and congratulate you and cheer you on as a human being, but that also means that whatever I'm doing with myself is also valid because that's
Yeah,
who I am.
totally.
So I I do like that there's a lot more of that going on without a doubt.
Yeah.
Um Alrighty then. Uh a quick thing. So what brings you joy every day? What sparks joy in you every day?
That sparks joy. I One thing that I have learned is like, for example, energy, you don't just have it, you have to generate it. It's
Mm-hmm.
made. Like an energy power plant doesn't have it. The whole job is to make it. And I think
Exactly.
joy is the same thing. And so like you don't just wake up and are like the most joyful person in the world. You have to create it every day.
Exactly. I agree. I'm
So
like picturing that in my mind.
right? Yeah. And so for me, I listen to a lot of inspirational podcasts. Honestly, like sometimes I just go through like the most popular ones and I just start downloading them to see what they're like. I watch a lot of health documentaries or like TV shows and movies that like align with what I believe in. And then I meditate, gratitude journal, talk to people, like use my creative juices, like everything that kind of makes me happy. I've like created this like happy list. So like a coffee shop makes me really happy. So sometimes I'll just go sit in a coffee shop and have a cup of coffee because that brings me
That
joy.
makes me happy too. I agree with you. I really do. I miss those days because of my, like, I just moved and whatnot. I'm
I
getting a
know.
different kind of life. But back in Barcelona, when I lived in a big city, yeah, I agree. Like those little moments, it doesn't have to look like, oh, you have to meditate 5 minutes every day. No, you can just
Yeah.
have a coffee or go for a walk.
Or a good show on Netflix, like anything like that. I think it's important to like have the things that you know work and like schedule those in, like make sure that those happen.
I love the fact that you said, because I also do this and have a happy list
Yeah.
of just write all the things that make you happy. And this was a really big thing for me because it was really hard to do, like that kind of transaction from point A to point B, because I
Mm-hmm.
was so used to working all the time and working various jobs and paying a million bills, and it was very hectic at the same time. Little by little I was like, oh, I should start, like, what makes me happy, let
Mm-hmm.
me make a list. So I like that you also maintain that and know, like, okay, so like what are all the things on the list, like what can I do today, this one,
Yeah.
let's go for it.
And one of the things that I've learned, and this year has been a huge learning opportunity for me, is I have that list, right? It's ingrained. I know what makes me happy, but asking for it. So, like, if you're with someone and let's say coffee shops make you happy, but they want to go somewhere else, like, ask to go to a coffee shop. Or, like, if for me, words of affirmation are like, that's my love language. So, like, sometimes I like have to ask for it and I'm like, I need words of affirmation right now. He's just like, okay, here we go. Like, you
I'm
just have to
definitely right with
figure
you
out
on
what
this
it
one,
is.
is asking for it. I feel like
Yeah.
I can be very courageous in different parts of my life. However, just asking for something that I really want or makes me happy, that one
Mhm.
took a while. That one took a really long while.
It's hard. Yeah.
Yeah. Put yourself first and be like, okay, I really want to go to the coffee shop and this is what I need right now to make me happy so I can continue living a better life for myself and people around me, obviously.
Yeah, totally.
Definitely. All right. So almost there. We're almost finished. It's been almost 40 minutes and I feel like I've been talking to
Go
you.
by so fast.
This is ridiculous. This is why I love talking to you. So I know you got something up your sleeve, Missy. You have a
I
huge
do.
announcement, and I'm if I'm not mistaken, I know this is the first place you wanted to promote it and to like
I
announce
did.
it, and I am so honored. I was like, that's amazing. So I'll leave my excitement jumps after the announcement. Go, tell us.
Yeah. So I'm in grad school, and my dream goal, the long-term goal, is to open my own private practice. And it's going to be this like amazing wellness sanctuary, and there's going to be all the things. Okay.
Thanks. I want other things with you.
Yeah. And but I'm really trying to think about like how can I serve my community best and like bring that energy and bring that passion now so that they don't have to wait. And I am working hard on creating some like really awesome content every single day that's all about health and wellness and fashion and energy and beauty and all the things, goal setting. But I think this is such a hard time of year. It's January. We sit down and reflect on our past year and we create all these goals, and I want to lose this amount of weight, and I want to eat healthier and have more smoothies, and I also want to have better relationships and more meaningful, all the things. And I do that too. But like,
Exactly. Me too. Like, these are my goals.
yeah, and how can you not? I mean, it's just like it's a fresh start, and I think it's hard. And so we are going to at Style by Liv do an online course, and that's going to be for those goals that you've created in January and like how to recommit to them in a healthy way that make you love your body. Because if you have a goal that I want to lose 10 pounds, what is the reason or the seed for that? Is it body hatred that you're creating that goal for? Or is it because you want to be healthier? Or because like your doctor has said that you can come off a medication if that's what happens? And so finding those like nuggets of positivity and joy and learning how to redo those goals and recommit.
I love that idea so much. I got so excited when you told me. I'm still so excited for you. I'm excited because
Yes.
that's literally everything that you are. That's the essence of you.
Mhm.
I keep saying over and over again for the past like 5 years we know each other, like this is essentially what you're made to do in this world. And I feel like everyone's made to do something, and this is just perfection for you because you are focused on people's well-being at the core.
Mhm. Yeah.
And your online course is it's gonna fly. It literally, not to play on words on here, go to fly and team
But
flyer, but it is true though, like you're gonna soar, girl.
thank you.
First,
Yeah, it's
congratulations, first of all. I forgot to say
thank you.
right now.
No, I'm really excited. It's been like months that I've been thinking about this and pondering and trying to squash that fear of doing it. And so it's 2020, we're going to go for it. And together, we're going to be on this journey together. And we don't have a set launch date yet. So stay tuned on Style by Liv, but it will probably be somewhere in February.
That's awesome. I love, once again, everything about it. And another thing about your community, it's forever growing as well. You do a lot for the community, much like we do over here. And I feel like that's something so important. And the connection you have with these people are definitely closer, are definitely like more real. And excuse me, um, the energy that you're going to put into it, of course,
Mm-hmm.
it's just going to be outstanding. I'm so excited. So we'll stay tuned for the date. We're right
Yes.
there, number one on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely, where all the links will be down below, of course. Um, how do you feel?
I feel really excited, but nervous. But like, it's that like
A good
giddy
kind of nervous.
excitement, like when you're just like, ooh. Like the butterflies in your
I
belly type thing.
We're taking so many leaps this year, and I don't know if it's just because we're like a whole vibe of 2020, let's go, and it's a humongous year the way it sounds, and what it is also a new decade. I
Yeah.
just feel like a lot of people, at least in my surroundings, and I think a lot, maybe not only my surroundings, a lot of people around the world, um, are ready to take the next leap. Like I'm
Mhm.
also like, there's also like lots of good goodies coming our way here at thealwaysbeliever.com and our
Yeah.
community, apart from the podcast, which I'm just so thrilled and honored and blessed about. So I love that you're taking the leap. I know it's like kind of nerve-wracking because I understand you firsthand. You're like, I could do
Yeah.
things, I could do all the things, let's go.
Yeah.
and just take the leap. That's awesome. All right.
Yeah.
So for the last 2 questions,
Woo!
what are 3 adjectives that describe you?
Energetic, optimistic, and passionate.
I love those words. Those are exquisite words without a doubt, because that's how I definitely would see you.
Yay.
So I vouch for that opinion of a person who knows Liv. I vouch for that. For what in your life are you most grateful, or are you grateful for?
I've really been rooted in and thinking a lot about these past few months, like people. Like honestly, connection is something that like really lights me up and brings me like so much joy to like get to know somebody and like have a conversation like this. Like it's monumental for like my mental health, for like connection, community. And so just like all the people that follow Style by Liv, all the people that are in my community, in my network, that are out there killing and crushing their dreams, like family, friends, like everybody who supports and loves and just has that energy too. I'm just so grateful.
I agree again, once again, because people, we all need each other. We all need somebody to lean on, to quote a famous song, and it's pretty darn true. I think people, your surroundings, the way that you get their energy and give the energy back, love bounces back. Anything you do bounces back, and the fact that you're just love all the way around and support all the way around, I just think that's grand. That really is.
Yeah.
All right, so we can wrap it up a little bit now. I must say to our listeners, today is not only the first episode of the podcast, of course.
Woo!
Oh gosh, so excited! So many things, all the things. I just, oh gosh, once again, I feel you, like all the excitement and the jitters right there. With you particularly, we have your blog post today, comes out the same day for Go to Fly, so you can find more about Liv on the blog post. All the links are also there. She talks a little about what we talked about today, but a little bit different as well, because you get the best of both worlds with her as always. And yeah, so we have new episodes every Wednesday. And before we wrap it up, definitely once again, where can we find you, Liv?
So I am on pretty much every channel. My website is stylebyliv.com, and then Instagram is at stylebyliv, and Facebook I'm also pretty on top of it at stylebyliv as well.
So you can find you a lot of places. You post constantly. I do know that you're always on it, even if you're just tired and I'm here watching Netflix.
Yeah, come for the real.
Exactly. Just you get it all. You get it all. You get everything with Liv. So definitely come follow her. Yeah. So in the count of 3, we're gonna say Team Flyer. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Team
Team
Flyer. I just love those moments, though. I really do. All right, my loves. Thank you very much for listening. Happy first episode for us here at Team Flyer, thealwaysbeliever.com. New episode next Wednesday, like every single Wednesday. Have a beautiful day. And thank you so much for joining us, Liv. Bye.
Bye.